if you like our videos, please like and subscribe. That way this chonky boy can eat more this run. Isn't that right, buddy? God, you even know where the camera is. You're such a little... Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. If this is your first time in the channel, welcome to you specifically, and if you do enjoy, like, share, comment, subscribe, all that good shite. And if you're back from the past, welcome back to you, and we appreciate your support. Now, today, we are doing something a little bit different. I'm not sure that this is perfect here. No, okay. What we are going to do today, get this running here. Boom. We are going to be doing a bit of something different here. We are doing a little tier list of characters that I think, after all the information that's been released so far, are most likely to be on the main roster, and I'm going to do a separate video of the cameo roster for Mortal Kombat 1. The cameo roster will be a little harder because apparently some of them are characters who haven't been playable in Mortal Kombat before, so it's going to be a little more difficult, but it's going to be more so the people who are likely out of the main roster to be there. Now, today, taking a look at the main roster. We have 5 tiers, which I've renamed. The 90s Mortal Kombat theme for the best. Shang Tsung's It Has Begun for the second. I Must Consult with the Elder Gods for the mid tier, like, kinda okay, could be in there, not important. Like, this is the has to be in here. It Has Begun is like, you know, pretty likely going to be in there, but it's not the end of the world if they don't show up, but it's probably going to show up kind of thing. Must Consult with the Elder Gods is like, you know, that tier, it's like, they might show up, but do I want them to show up kind of thing? Whereas It Has Begun are the ones that I do want to show up kind of thing. Such wasted potential are ones that could have been done well, but are kind of crap, and I don't see them bring back because of the way they were handled before, and Finish Them are just ones that should not return. So, with all that out of the way, let's go through a couple of these here. Now, we have, I think there's 78 characters here. This is because they include Cetrion, I believe is in here somewhere. Yeah, Cetrion. They don't include Kronika on this list. Doesn't seem. Oh no, Kronika's there. There. We have Kronika. But we also have 2 versions of Sindel. We have MK. We have the new timeline Sindel and the old timeline Sindel, which I think is a funny addition in there. So we're definitely gonna have some fun with this. First things first, Kronika goes and finish them. I don't want to see Kronika again. Fuck Kronika. She's a horrible character and should not return. Also, we should get some of the ones out of the way that are definitely showing up, like Kenshi, my main man, my main boy. I'm so glad to see him back. I'm going to play the shit out of him when I get the ability to do so. Johnny Cage, he's showing up again, played by Jean-Claude Van Damme, which is hype as fuck. We have Shang Tsung, who's showing up as DLC. We have, who else was in the roster here? Tana, Aang, Fire God, so he's definitely showing up. And Raiden, we saw his human form in the trailer. Scorpion, obviously. Sub-Zero, definitely making his way into the game as well, as we saw. Then we had... Is there anybody else on this list that showed up from main roster? Uh, I don't think so. I think that was everybody that showed up in the trailer. Oh wait, where's Kun Lao? There he is. Kun Lao. Yeah, I think that was all of them. So far we have Tenchi, Johnny, Shang Tsung, Liu Kang, Katana. Oh, Melina. Katana, Melina, Scorpion, Sub-Zero, Raiden. I think that's all of them that showed up. Pretty sure. Yeah, that seems about right. That seems about like all of them. Okay. So, we have those ones guaranteed. Chronica, never want to see again. So, that is already 4, 8, 10 of the roster. Now, how many was in the Mortal Kombat 1 roster size? 19 characters so far. They also potentially leaked the character roster, apparently, which is interesting. Maybe. 4, 8, 12, 16. And then 5 guest characters. Oh, I see. Okay, okay. Interesting. So, this could be here. Okay. There's 19 main roster characters. This is already 10 of them, which is kind of crazy. So out of all these, who are the other 9 that I think are most likely to return? Let's see. Sector. But they use Sector and Cyrax in this game, I wonder. I'm gonna stick them in. I will consult with the Elder Gods because, oh shit. I think they're going back to the roots, like the roots for this one. So they're probably gonna stick to a lot of the original cast, which it seems like they are, outside of Kenshi here. Kenshi's the only 3D era character that we've seen show up. And then you've got all these guys who either showed up in Mortal Kombat 1, Mortal Kombat 2, or Mortal Kombat 3. Like, these all showed up in the main trilogy. These are mainstays. And then they showed Kenshi, which I would argue means that the other 9 on the roster are probably going to be, especially with the way that Ed Boon keeps teasing it, they're probably going to be a collection of some 3D era characters. Maybe some brand new characters, like 1 or 2 brand new characters, like they do with Devora or Collector or Ferrator, Aaron Black, those kinds of guys. Maybe they make some new ones. But I feel like there'll be a lot from the 3D era. And I don't think Sector and Cyrax are making it into this game. As cameo fighters, maybe. But as main roster, I don't see them making it. Maybe for the next game. But for this one, I don't see it. Kai. I feel like they could do something with Kai. I feel like they could do something with him. He would be one that I could say maybe they'd actually consider as giving a roster because he's one of the more distinct 3D characters, I think. Because he's the only capoeira fighter in this whole game too. So there's that. So if they wanted to bring back a 3D character, like that's not a bad choice. Actually, I'd probably move him down to consult with the Elder Gods. I wouldn't say he's likely to show up. I'd say he's a valid option. Jade, I think they're probably gonna skip for this one. Um, though I could see them bring back the trio of them, Katana, Melina, Jade in this. So I'd say maybe it's likely, even though I wouldn't necessarily want her back. But that being said, like it's not entirely out of the question. I would say Ashra, I'd say is also a maybe. She's got a very distinct design, and she's got some interesting lore with being like a demoness. But out of all the 3D era characters, I'm not sure if they'd choose her. Kind of in the same boat as Kai, I think. Blaze, put him in wasted potential. Like he's cool, I guess, but there's nothing really to him or his character. And I don't see them bringing him back in any capacity at all. So pass on that. Bo Raicho, he's been DLC and he's skipped out a lot of games. I could see them bringing him back main roster as a 3D era character. Thus, that would make sense. Liu Kang's mentor, maybe mentoring Raiden and Kun Lao and Kenshi kind of thing at the Shaolin Academy. That would make sense. That'd be pretty cool. Plus, it'd be fun to play Bo Raicho again. It's fucking drunken style of combat. Cassie, probably not. I don't see any of the combat kids showing up in this, so let's just get that out of the way right now. I don't see Takeda showing up. I don't see Kun Jin showing up. There it is. Jin. Yeah, I'd say that's those are all pretty unlikely in the grand scheme of things. Collector, I don't see them. In fact, actually finish him. I don't like the Collector. He's kind of dumb. Shoehorned fucking tax collector for Outworld. Cetron's okay, but I don't see them bringing her back. Chameleon, definitely not main roster. Cameo fighter, maybe, but definitely not main roster. I do not see them bring him back as, or her back as a. Oh, they actually have both of them on here. Yeah, I wouldn't see them bring him back as a main position. I remember this one's Lee May. Is this Serena? Or no, is that... No, fuck, what are their names? Oh, Jesus. It's like Quan Chi's... Assassins. What were their names? Now I got two of them, right? Come on. It says somewhere in here. Fuck is it? Serena, Kia, and Taka. Who the fuck? I don't think those are the ones. Who the fuck are these characters? Okay. I do not remember these characters' names. Da 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 da. Hey. is Serena. Okay, so definitely know that one's Serena. I could see them bring her back. Well, actually, I'd say consult with the Elder Gods because I see Quan Chi being in that position too. I don't think they're gonna bring Quan Chi. Well, they very well could bring Quan Chi back since they'll bring Kenshi back. I'd say he's more likely. They could bring Serena along with him because she's the most distinct out of her little crew or his little crew rather. Oh, and wait, what? Meat was in Mortal Kombat 4. Huh. Well, unfortunately, I don't see them bring Meat back, but he was pretty cool. And I'd say, let's see here. Oh, Tanya, Tanya. Of course, forgot Tanya. I could see them bringing her back in the main role. According to the story, I could see them doing it. Why not? Uh, Lee May. This one, I could see them bring her back. She's from the 3D era. Makes sense. Actually, I'd say more here. Uh, Kira. Is this Kira? Member of the Black Dragon clan who possesses the abilities of Kano and Sonya Blade. Describing her as the evil Sonya Blade. Oh yeah, this has got to be her. Yeah, this has got to be her, right? Yep. Oh yeah, that's her. Considering it took me that long to find information on her, and considering I can't remember her very well, let's stick her down here. I don't see them bring Kira back. Same with Cobra. I don't see them bring those two back because they are a pair. Devora, fuck no. I don't see them bringing her back. Unfortunately, probably not Dagon or Taven, wherever he is. Where the fuck is he? Oh, there he is. Cursor was right on top of him. I don't see them bringing them back at all. This blade-looking motherfucker, I think his name's Darius. I don't see them bring him back. Ermac, I could see them bring him back in the main role, especially after the disrespect they gave him in fucking MK11 as killing him off in the crypt. I would say he's more than likely. In fact, I'd say yeah, he's probably like definitely in the roster. These are all maybes, but he's definitely in there. I would say. I don't see why they would skip on Ermac, especially because it seems like Shang Tsung has no goons. Like honestly, they've just shown all the heroes in this game. They've shown 9, well 8, I guess, because you subtract Melina and Shang Tsung here. They've shown 8 of like the main good roster characters. Or hero roster, because Scorpion and Sub-Zero are working for Raiden in this one. So that just leaves Shang Tsung as Melina as the like antagonists. So they gotta have some jobbers with them. They gotta have some lackeys. Ermac makes sense. Aaron Black, I don't see them bring back. Frost, I definitely don't see them bring back after. Actually, yeah, definitely just throw her in the finisher. I don't see them bringing her back at all after what they did with her in MK11. Geras, I don't see them doing. Tor, probably not. Goro, oh, would they bring back Goro in a main roster? It's the question. He's in Cameo. We've seen that. Would they put him in main roster? I honestly, him in here. Because in his cameo appearance, he's tiny too. He's like the size of Alina and Katana. So he's not like Goro, which is making me think that they wouldn't make him an actual character this time around, which is weird. I don't know. Havoc. Out of the 3D era characters, what I'd say Havoc instead of Shao Kahn might actually be the one behind Shang Tsung this time. He specifically name drops Havoc um in Aftermath. Like Shang Tsung, like he specifically says Havoc will keep Geras entertained when they send him to Chaos Realm. As if Shang Tsung knows that Havoc would be alive, even though in the MKX11 timeline kind of thing in the comics, they killed him off. So it's, yeah, no, I could see them bringing him back as like the main antagonist this time around, the god of chaos. Like he resurrects Shang Tsung himself as like outside the timeline, and because he's just a pure entity of chaos, he remembers all of this, like past timeline shit. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna bring back your worst enemy, Kang, and we're gonna taunt you just to fuck with you. I could totally see them making him the big bad, like 100%. That'd be sick too, to play Havoc and have him like with a modern moveset. So cool. If they do bring back Havoc, I could absolutely see them bring back Hotaru, I believe that's his name, as a representative of Orderum. Actually, I'd say probably more down here, as like the counterpart to him. Um, though they could also just embody that in Lord Fire God Liu Kang kind of thing. Su Hao. I'd say maybe he makes cameo fighter. I don't think he makes main roster. I really don't think he makes main roster. Jax. Interesting thing, actually. There's 19 characters in the game. I don't think the special forces are in this one. So I actually think, believe it or not, Jax and Sonya, where is she, are just maybes for this game. And might only be in cameo fighter form. Because if you put them into the main roster, that's 10 of the main roster that's heroes. And then 9 of them are that are villains, I guess. And you know what? Shang Tsung isn't even part of the main roster. Come to think of it, he's a DLC character. Which means we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 good characters and 1 evil one. Like, that seems mighty disproportionate. And you'd think if they were teasing the story and gathering all these champions from Earthrealm, that they would have gotten Jax and Sonya, but they don't show that. They show off Raiden, they show off Kenshi, they show off Johnny Cage, they show off Scorpion, Sub-Zero, Kung Lao. They don't show off the Special Forces characters at all. So is this, like, not going to include them? I wonder. If it doesn't include the Special Forces, then does that mean that Kano, Cabal, and the Black Dragon are going to sit out this one? Which also means characters like Vado, who I'd say is less likely than a character like Kano for them. Yeah, I'll stick him here. Why not? We'll stick him there. Movado and like his crew. I don't think they will be in this game, which is kind of interesting. I think this is Jarek. I don't see them bring back Kintaro. Now, if there was any Shokan who should be brought back, it's abso-fucking-lutely Kintaro. It has been ages, ages since we've seen Kintaro in a main game. Since MK9, they should totally bring him back. This would be the game to do it. And he's a 3D era character. And he could be the Goro of this game, serving havoc and Shang Tsung and shit. That would be cool. Kotal Khan. I'd say probably down here with the Special Forces characters. Like, I could see them using him again. But then they wouldn't be able to use Shao Kahn. Well, I guess they still could use Shao Kahn, but just be a little difficult. Baraka. They haven't shown him at all. And he's been in a lot of games. So I'd say he's a likely character, but if they skip out on him, it wouldn't be the end of the world, I'd say. Fujin, I'd say it would be awesome to have back. He was a great character in Aftermath. And he played really, really, really well, and he was a lot of fun to play. That would be awesome to see him back in a main role slot, especially since he was brothers with Raiden and everything. And that'd be an interesting change up now, since he's a god and not now. Rain, I could see them bring back as like another 3D era ninja to bounce off of these two kind of thing. Especially if the background that was these two were fighting was Edenia. He is a god from Edenia. Eric. They did bring him back as DLC in MK11, which seems to bode well because they brought back Melina in a main slot from MK11 and DLC, so might track. Scarlet, I'd say, is a maybe. Wouldn't be the end of the world if we saw her or not. Draman, Moloch, probably not main roster, I'm gonna say. I'd be surprised if they showed up main roster. Though, actually, would it be surprising? They could fulfill Shang Tsung's... Or rather, no, they could fulfill, like, if they do Havoc as a main antagonist, that would be probably not the worst pair of jobbers to have for Havoc. They're from NetherRealm, not Chaos Realm, but still, like, they could still make the jump. Dairu, let's just not see him again. Onaga. See them bring him back as like the boss of the game, maybe? But I don't think they'd bring him back as like a playable character. He'd be in the game, but he wouldn't be a so I'd probably move him down here in that case. Mocap. I definitely don't see them bringing him back in a main roster slot. Let's just get that out of the way. Nightwolf. I feel like they would have shown him off more if actually in the game, so I'd be able to stick him here. Itara. I mean, they did put her in the Mortal Kombat movie. They did stick her in the Mortal Kombat movie. And a lot of the shit from the game, or at least from the first trailer, was reminiscent of that movie. You know what? I'm gonna stick with Nitara, actually. I'll stick her as a maybe in this realm, because I could definitely see them bringing her back as like a main roster jobber character with some like kind of like Scarlet, like taking the spot of Scarlet with life drain abilities and like manipulating blood, but being able to like do flight combos and like aerial combos and shit like that with her wings. They were showing off Scorpion's like aerial combos and stuff, and showing how you can really pull off some moves like that. So Natara wouldn't be a bad choice for that kind of gameplay. It would definitely work. I would think. Which actually makes me think that Movado would be a much better choice too, because of his fucking hook blade he had in his appearance. Reiko, I could absolutely see them bringing back in a main roster. Maybe in this timeline, right? Shao Kahn doesn't exist because they go with the original plan for what Reiko's story was, because this is what Reiko's original story was, is he was supposed to be a reincarnation of Shao Kahn. Which is why he has such an obsession with Shao Kahn's helmet and everything like that. But it would be interesting if they brought him back in this game and literally made him a reincarnation in a new timeline of Shao Kahn. That would be an interesting twist, I think. Or if they don't, he would be a great Outworld general to prelude Shao Kahn in a later game, I would say. Unless they like have him pop in this game, which isn't entirely out of the question. Striker, he shows up in cameo form. I don't think they'd make him main roster though. Reptile should be main roster. They made him sit out for MK11. And if they're bringing back all of the classic ninjas, they should absolutely bring back Reptile as well. Plus, again, you have another jobber for the villains, so it makes sense, right? Shao Kahn, I'd say I don't know. Actually, I could sit out Shao Kahn with this one. I wouldn't mind, cause he was main roster in 9. He wasn't in the game at all in X. He was only in 11 through DLC, but he was a major part of the story, kind of like Shang Tsung is for MK1. So I definitely don't think they bring him back in main roster capacity. Maybe as a later DLC character from like in Mortal Kombat universe instead of like the guest characters. But yeah, I don't think he's gonna be the big bad of this game. I just have a feeling. My Force Dark Pages has fucked up Shiva, but I don't see them bringing her back. Shinnok, no. I don't see them going with like world-ending consequences in the first fucking era timeline thing. Shijinko, I'd say is a big maybe. I could absolutely see him being like, you go to the Shaolin Temple in the story. Fire God Liu Kang takes him there, and Shijinko is like the wise master who's training them all in the ways of Mortal Kombat. That would be cool. That could mean that he just shows up as like an NPC character kind of thing, but could also mean that we maybe get young Shijinko as well instead of the older Shijinko, and you have a trainee alongside Kenshi and Raiden and those guys, right? Like that, both those routes I think would be fun, and I think he's a huge representation of the 3D era that I think could be brought back as well. This Sindel from New Timeline can go fuck herself. Old Sindel, I'd say, is probably likely to show up. I feel like what we're going with here is going to be probably good Sindel this time around, who's brainwashed by Shang Tsung for whatever purpose, and then leads to her being evil. I think that would be probably like, although I'd probably put her down here actually. I don't think she's gonna make it into main roster, but it's highly likely that she shows up, and at least in some capacity, maybe as just a boss or something. Smoke. he's been absent for a few games here. I'd say they should definitely have him show up. I should absolutely hope to see Smoke again. That'd be incredibly hype, and I hope they do that. Noob, I'd say maybe, but considering they've completely changed up Scorpion and Sub-Zero here, I'm not sure if they're going to turn him into Noob. I'm not sure if they're going that way. Motaro, probably not playable, but I think he'll show up in some capacity. That would make sense as like a job or something. And Tremor maybe shows up, I would say. Could show up in either like a fighter capacity or like just that for you fight in the story kind of thing, or maybe main roster. It's a coin flip. So based on these predictions here, we have 1, 2, 3, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. We've only got 15 here, plus Shang Tsung as DLC. So I'm 4 short of a full roster here. Out of these picks, who would make that roster? Did Havoc, Kentaro, Reiko, Shang Tsung, Reptile, Ermac. I'd say probably Baraka, because they seem to always use Baraka. I'd say Quan Chi, definitely likely, because him and Kenshi were like the face of the like the big two from the 3D era. I would say Serena, possibly, just to bounce off of him, and probably Sindel. I'd say it would be the most likely out of the bunch. I think that's a full roster now. 1, 2, 5, 6, 11, 12, 15, 17. Yeah, okay, that's the full roster there. Okay, so those are my predictions for MK1 character roster. These are the characters that I think are going to show up. We have, based on what we already know, Kenshi, Johnny Cage, DLC Shang Tsung, Liu Kang, Katana, Melina, Raiden, Scorpion, Sub-Zero, Kung Lao. Ones I have a strong feeling are going to show up as main roster to fill out the character ranks. Bring back 3D era, bring back some old characters, bring back some ones that we've already seen before as well. This is barring any sort of new, completely OC shit that they do for this new game. Ermac, Havoc, Taro, Reiko, Reptile, Smoke, Raka, Quan Chi, Serena, and Sindel. Now, Quan Chi's a big iffy, and same with Serena, because we already have Shang Tsung as the DLC character, and they have a very similar shtick going on. They have very similar abilities. So, if they didn't do Quan Chi and Serena, my guess would be for probably Tanya, maybe Natara. Because it seems like they're hiding the main threat. They're showing off Shang Tsung, but they're definitely hiding like the main threat, and I feel like that's going to be not Shao Kahn this time. And Havoc would be a good choice for that. So having the chaos of some fucking randos would be some randoms from all over the place from the 3D era would be a good choice, I think. And again, like I said, they could be making some new characters for the game too, so that would invalidate some of these slots as well. I'd say out of the ones that are least likely here, probably Smoke, Kentaro. They've teased Reiko a lot. I think Havoc is pretty likely, even though it's kind of iffy. Serena's a maybe. And same with Baraka, I'd say. But other than that, I think that's pretty accurate overall. So, with that all being said, I think that wraps up that tier list there. And I hope y'all did enjoy that. So, if any of those are right, come the full release of MK1, I'm going to pat myself on the back for guessing all that shit, because some of that logic, I think, holds a little merit, and if the developers follow suit with that method, then I think I could be in on the money there, but we'll see what happens. Anyways, until next time, guys, hope you had a good one, and I'll see you in the next video. Yes.